Hello everybody, welcome to Ageless Rock, a channel for megalithic fans with megalithic lands. Africa is a land of megalithic mysteries and Ethiopia has no shortage of megalithic sites for you to visit on your vacation. Today, we are going to check out Geneta Mariam rock cut church in Geneta Mariam village. At the tip of this pin, you can find a rock-cut church at Metekel zone of Benishangul Gumuz region. If Ethiopia promotes its 150 rock-cut churches aggressively around the world, they will surely receive tourists as many as Egypt receives for its pyramids. According to tradition, Geneta Mariam rock-cut church is believed to be a product of King Yakuno Amlak in 1270 AD. If that is true, this 700-year-old church should not be a guessing game to historians as to who built it and how it was done, because 700 years ago is not very long compared to the magnitude of the project. Geneta Mariam is a monolithic church located at approximately 2,390 meters or 7,840 feet above sea level. It is about an hour drive from here to the famous 11 rock-cut churches in Lalibela. You can find the videos I made on these 11 rock-cut churches under my Ethiopia playlist. From the outline of the photo, I am guessing the original stage when Ethiopians saw the hilltop was something like this. It was just an ordinary natural bedrock formation. But with divine inspiration, a group of Ethiopians decided to hew it from the top and all the way down so that they can worship God. A lot of time, manpower, chisels and hammers were used for this monument, while they themselves were living in huts. This narrative doesn't seem to make any sense because worshipping God doesn't require such degree of difficulty. A wooden hut with thatched roof is just as pleasing to God. The creation of this monolith is staggering in every way you can imagine. The amount of bedrock removed to have a single structure in the ground is often overlooked. The question of where they dispose the rubble is a legitimate question because there should be a mountain of chipped rocks nearby. The roof is the only clue that it has something to do with Christianity. If this was done by the unknown megalithic builders, then it would be them who gave us religion. Just like megalithic temples and cave temples in India and giant Buddhas in China are probably the results of megalithic builders giving us a religion directly or indirectly. This colossal project is so extreme that the first thing that comes to mind is how it was done. But our brain is also wired to believe that ancient Africans were extremely hardworking and were obsessed about having a subterranean church made completely out of a single rock. The whole structure seems like a job done with tools we don't have. If you look at the wall that meets the roof, it looks like a machine that sliced off the bedrock like clay. Where the roof meets the wall, you can see a very nice and sharp angle at the end. Where the sides on the pillar meets are all very well created, very much like a machine or tool that sliced the bedrock like clay rather than the work of chisels and hammers. At the famous rock-cut churches of Lalibela, there is a monolithic church known as House of the Saviour of the World, which is next to House of Mary. Geneta Mariam has the similar style and architecture compared to Bet Medani Alam. The arched column design on the roof and the pillars with the main church behind those pillars are like a duplicate in design concept. This monolithic church at Lalibela complex of 11 rock-cut churches is said to be the largest within the complex. The amount of bedrock removed is beyond belief, but yet Ethiopian Christians prefer to have two of them in terms of design. These two magnificent monoliths are only 1 hour drive from each other or approximately 11 kilometers apart from aerial view. If they were done by merely chisels and hammers, then reshaping bedrock was definitely easy. You can check out my video on this church at Ethiopia Playlist and see more details about the size and dimension of House of the Savior of the World. Today, this site is as sacred as it was a few centuries ago. Pilgrims flock to this site as if there is a magical power that draws devotees to perform their rituals. But none of them can tell you for sure what happened here 700 years ago. The well-weathered roof is in danger of further erosion due to extended exposure to rain and sun. A new roof was installed to preserve the monument and also a good addition to tourists who are not used to the blazing sun. If I'm standing here at this corner, I will be blown away by the size of this project where a top-down monolithic structure must first remove thousands of tons of bedrock before work can begin to hollow out the monolith itself. This is a good photo to see the size of this monument in proportion to human size. Carving with chisel is extremely hard to do. I would expect a much reduced structure in height and still have the same amount of blessings and have more time building a larger hut for themselves. From the side of the cliff to the wall of the monolithic church is a very wide gap. If measurements are given, you can calculate the amount of rubble needed to be lifted out of the bedrock. You not only need chisels and hammers, but lots of baskets and ropes to pull the chipped rock out of the site. There is a cave with 3 arches and 3 crosses, which reminds me that despite all the hard work, it is oddly short of carvings depicting Christianity. The interior has lots of paintings familiar to those of Christian faith. The mural paintings and curtain dividers are obviously recent additions, but it is rather strange that it is lacking in carvings depicting biblical stories or carvings of Jesus or Mary despite it is called Geneta Mariam rock-cut church. This monolithic top-down rock-hewn church with 20 pillars is not as simple as you think or heard from mainstream. If workers needed to be paid to hew this monolithic church, then I think it is a structure too extravagant for primitive people. The surrounding area shows it was and is a very low population area. You have to wonder where did all the workers came from to chisel bedrock every day and the village did not become a big town. The church is actually in the middle of a valley where it is great for agriculture and not so great to carve a hole in case it might start to collect water. Is it possible that for such a magnificent monument, where construction began approximately 7 centuries ago, comes with a rusty signboard for direction, surrounded by people still living in wooden hut made of wooden branches and thatched roof? Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation on Geneta Mariam Monolithic Church. See you in the next video and have a wonderful day. This is Berniong signing out. Dehenahun.